Hi guys, it's Dom here from Esports News UK at MSI 2023 London. This is my first interview at the actual venue, Copper Box Arena, and who better than to have Yinsu Collins, broadcast talent here. How's it going, Yinsu?
I saw you interview Caps, so I feel like I have big shoes to fill. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're UK, right?
Yeah.
I've got questions for you.
I know Cockney slang.
This is going to be good. I've got some harder ones.
Apples and pears, stairs.
Yeah, see, those are the easy ones. I've got
Okay.
harder ones for you, but we'll come on to that in a bit.
Mm.
Now, my notes for today. Caps, I had loads of notes. For you, I've just got Yinsu.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a
No,
bad
it
thing.
is. Because we go way back, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah,
A
yeah.
few years you started off as journalism, and now you're hopped to the other side. What's it like to be here, broadcast talent? I know you've been doing Valorant a lot, but to be here doing a major League of Legends broadcast, you did MSI last year, but to have it on your doorstep must be amazing.
First of all, I think we've known each other for 5 years now, maybe even 6 years. Definitely around 5 years, because it would have been, I think, around 2018 or something like that that we met.
Like
So you've seen my proper actual journey, so it's kind of nice to be able to speak to you about it. I think being on the broadcast side, well, actually, first of all, it's kind of sad not to be on the journalist side, because our press room keeps shrinking and shrinking. For example, I know Emily Rand went from ESPN to the LCS broadcast. We have Tom, who just announced that he's just left, which is really sad. I don't know if you remember Danez. Danez was also did a lot of journalism stuff. And he's actually, I saw him at Valorant. It was we used to be in the press room together, and then I rocked up at the Valorant venue in Berlin, and I was like, I know that guy. Oh wait, it's Danez. We used to do press stuff together. So that always has a really special place in my heart. Even coming to these events, I'm like, I wonder where the press room are. Where's everyone chilling? Where's the press seats? So it's weird, but I'd say that my job doing interviews and stuff and hosting is basically an extension of what I was doing before. So the transition was pretty smooth. The only difference is, instead of doing interviews like this, pre-recorded, maybe editing and writing, it's just everything is live. So I think that's probably the biggest.
Scary. You're used to it now, aren't
Yeah,
you? You've never had fear,
Actually,
Yinsu.
True. Actually, I remember those distinctively twice that I've been nervous. First was as a journalist interviewing Bwipo at 2018 Worlds. I was very nervous. Fnatic were in the final. Bwipo was kind of on the up and coming, and it was my first ever interview in League. So I was kind of like, oh God, I don't want to botch this up. And then the second time, funnily enough, that I got nervous was at LEC, which happened 2 weeks ago. Only because I put too much pressure on myself. I was like, you've been at the LECs for so many years, watching it as a fan, reporting on it, getting to know the game and the players. And for me, I was like, this is too big of a moment. I cannot fuck it up. Sorry, I'm gonna swear. I was like,
I don't have any bosses.
You can beat me out.
I'll leave it in.
Yeah.
This isn't a right broadcast, is it? You're not going to get in trouble for this.
Yeah. Oi, cunts. I am. We're in London. What can I say? We're in London. There we go. But I was so just in my own head that I just didn't want to mess it up. That I think by doing that, I kind of messed it up. But then obviously, luckily, I was there for 3 days. So day 2, I was like, okay, I need to relax. So it was fine.
You've done really well. I heard it was surreal actually, because I was waiting in this room just setting up the camera equipment, and I could hear you on a broadcast interviewing one of the players. Was that from PSG?
Yeah,
and there was some laughter. What happened there?
You're like, oh God, not her again. I've been
I can't escape
to her for 5
Yinsu.
years. So one of the cool things about esports is obviously there's a lot of different players from different regions, and I, as a Mandarin speaker, I've never professionally used Chinese for anything.
Right,
so kind of being able to interview players who are also Chinese, maybe throw in a Chinese question here and there and translate, is quite nerve-wracking, but it's really fun. Yeah.
I think that's an interesting point you've raised, because I've reached out to you before just checking, people like myself describe you in articles and things as a British broadcaster. But, tell us a bit about your background as well. That's interesting. You got that Mandarin background.
Yeah. So my mum is Chinese, but I obviously grew up here, was raised here in the UK. So I don't really know if I guess I am British by location, but I'm pretty in touch with the other side of the cultures I'm involved with. And it doesn't hurt that so many Chinese players are just so good at esports in general, right? It's they kind of monopolize a lot of the corners of a lot of games. Yeah.
Now I know as a broadcaster you have to be quite objective. I guess you do, but then some broadcasters will have different parts they support. Goldborg, you've got the Danish angle. He likes to see Danes doing well. Is there anyone you're rooting for, or who do you feel can do well at this tournament?
The people that I actually root for are not here because I'm a big Turkish esports fan. Hello to my Turkish kanks, Seni seviyorum. I really like the Turkish Valorant scene and also a little bit of the League of Legends scene as well. Actually, one of the Turkey's most famous players apparently is coming out of retirement. That I saw a rumor about that, which is going to give the region a bit of a boost. But unfortunately, the Turkish region in League of Legends, I don't think it exists anymore in terms of like their own, like, you know how like CBLOL in Brazil, they have their own tournament. I think Turkey, they kind of got a bit unlucky there. But in Valorant, the region is thriving. We have literally a Turkish world champion right now, which is wild.
I don't follow it that
closely. Really wild. There is a couple of Turkish-speaking players. So we have Niski, we have Broken Blade, and so I definitely am rooting for them. EU, obviously, because I'm from the region, but because they are also Turkish-speaking, it's like close to my heart.
Who do you feel we'll see in the final at MSI? Do you have any big predictions for me?
Oh my goodness. Well, the meme is that in the past at MSI, EU will always at least come third because there's only one team from LPL, one team from LCK. So if they get in the final, like, hey, we can come third. But now every region has two teams. So we might not even come top 4 this time because it could just be China versus China or like Korea versus Korea. I think it probably will be that.
It's tough to call, isn't it? As much as I want EU to do well, G2, Mad Lions, Caps is top of the solo queue at the moment, but I interviewed someone earlier, Trajan, who does the CB-LOL stuff, and he said, Caps is on form until he's not, Dom. So we'll see in a few minutes, right? This video will go out.
Yeah, claps for craps. There we go.
Now, conscious of time, Yinsu, I tested Caps.
I watched it. Yeah.
The Cockney rhyming slang. Apparently, Cajal put it on his stream earlier. Thanks, Cajal, if you're watching. That's pretty cool.
Really cute.
And I also asked Travis Gafford about some slang stuff. That hasn't been published yet. So this pressure's on you because you're from London. So I'm not going to give you easy ones. So guess the Cockney rhyming slang, Yinsu. Duck and dive.
Duck and dive. I'm trying to think. Duck and dive. Surely not chive.
No.
Hive.
Nearly.
Hive?
It's actually hide.
Hide?
Yeah.
Oh, duck. Wait, how does that work?
Duck and dive, hide,
Duck
apparently.
and dive?
Oh, yeah,
That
because if you.
doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't know. But listen,
wrong.
I had to Google these, and I'm from London, so I'm not expecting you to get loads. Apparently, dustbin lids.
That's a Cockney rhyming slang? Kids?
Yeah, you got it. I didn't even know that
There we
one.
go.
You're better than
I
me.
had to think about that for a second.
Give and take.
Break?
Nearly. You're a letter out.
Drake?
Cake. I was thinking BC.
Cake.
Yeah. Maybe you can test me some. There might be some that you know.
I only know apples and pears, stairs, really. Everything else is a bit of a... I could test you on football. Should we do a football quiz?
And do that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. How's your team doing? Look, bottlers, aren't they? Bunch of bottlers.
Who do you support? Palace? Well, where are they doing? You've had to go and get that.
If we had your budget...
You're an ex-manager back again.
Yeah, context matters. If we had your budget, if we had your resources, mate, we'd be in a very different position.
I wasn't expecting to do an MSI League of Legends interview and be chatting about football. Do you support Palace?
Yeah.
You still any other teams?
Yeah, actually I do support a Turkish team called Adana.
Ah, right.
Is where Mario Balotelli went.
Yeah, because you've had different jerseys and things over the years, haven't you?
Oh, I collect them. So when I went to Brazil recently for a Valorant tournament, I basically, one of the people that looked after us, the talent manager, he's Brazilian, and he was really hyping up his home team, which is Sao Paulo FC. And their like tidbit is that their goalkeeper, one of the ex-goalkeepers, currently holds the club record for the most goals that he scored.
Really?
Yeah, as a goalkeeper.
What, from free kicks or something?
Yeah, but he scored like 300 goals, something crazy like that. I can't remember. Don't quote me on the exact amount of goals, but he was giving me all these tidbits and stuff, and I was like, "That's a sick story. I'm gonna buy one of their jerseys and bring it home." And I think I wore it on stream, and all the Brazilian fans were so confused. They're like, "Why are you wearing a Sao Paulo jersey?" Because I guess it's the equivalent of wearing like a Brighton or Wolves. Or something.
Different.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm conscious of time. What's next for Yinsu? You've gone from journalism, doing bits of content creation, Valorant. I said don't forget the little people when you're up there, and you haven't, so I appreciate you talking to me, Yinsu. And now League of Legends as well. Where do you see yourself going next? Do you see yourself on a lot of Riot broadcasts and things like that?
Redacted, because of my I signed an NDA. No, I haven't signed an NDA. I'm just fucking with you. I don't actually know. I think it's more of like just get through each day and learn to be satisfied. I think there's a really I like the grind culture because I think that's what I would kind of attribute my success to. It's just that grind culture.
Work damn hard.
But it's not healthy, and I think the downside of grind culture and like having a goal and aiming for it always setting the bar higher and higher is that you kind of miss the moments and you kind of get into a mindset where you're never satisfied or happy with what you're currently doing. It's only when you look back you're like, oh, I did that, that's kind of cool. But I'm trying to learn enjoying the moment more than keep like always looking up that you just forget where you are.
I've been doing some of that mindfulness stuff. That helps because I've done a bit of grinding. But Yinsu, I thought this would be a nice, easy interview for me. You've made it quite hard. You've thrown some F-bombs, swear words, trying to joke with the redacted thing.
Oh,
It's been great, Yinsu. Anything else you'd like to add? And good luck for the rest of the show.
When are we cooking next?
Yeah, we used to do cooking streams. I'll have to put a link in. Yeah. Oh my God, it's embarrassing. Although I do the tacos and the
pizza,
the mince stuff you taught me. So
cool,
we used to do cookery streams years ago. I know, long story. I'll put a link in.
It was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for talking to me, Yinsu.
Have
fun
me.
with the rest of MSI.
Yeah. This has been Esports News UK with Dom Sacco. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check out another video we've linked here if you want more content. And if this is on TikTok, give it a heart. Come subscribe. We got more esports content. So drop us a comment too.
You heard Yinsu, and you're doing my job for me. Thank you, Yinsu.
No problem.
Cheers. Appreciate it.
That's all right.